Well, former Anambra State Governor and 2023 Labour Party presidential candidate, Mr. Peter Obi, has expressed deep concern over the poor performance in the recently released Unified Tertiary Matriculation exam (UTME) results, calling them a reflection of Nigeria's deteriorating education system. According to data from the Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board (Jamb), about 1,955,69 candidates, 1 million, sat for the 2025 UTME. Of this number, only about 420,000 scored above 200, while over 1.5 million candidates failed to meet the 200 mark threshold, representing more than 78% of all candidates. In a statement shared via his verified social media handle, Obi described the results as symptomatic of deep-rooted issues in the nation's education sector, citing years of neglect and underinvestment. He contrasted Nigerians' education outcomes with those of other countries. While Nigeria's total university enrollment stands at about 2 million students, Bangladesh National University alone enrolls about 3.4 million students, despite the country having only 75% of Nigeria's population. Reaffirming his stance, Obi emphasized that education should not be viewed merely as a social service, but as a strategic national investment. Are you aware about the issue has just been everywhere? So many people making the Minister of Education, Tunji Alausa, actually made a statement of this particular situation, and then he said that this is a move that malpractice has been under reduction. So many people have actually made their statement over this, and Obi has come to say that that situation that occurred, that about 1.5 actually had less than 200 in their exam of Jamb. That is a sign of deteriorating education system in Nigeria. Do you agree with him, please?
I agree with him somehow, not all, but I have another view. You see, the problem we have in this country is not just about the education sector alone. I know that ordinarily Nigerians are supposed to have focused on the education, because if you go to every other country, everyone is working on education. Everyone is improving education sector. But our case, my own view is different. I think the reason why this whole thing is happening is not because of the educational sector now. It is because people have left what they are supposed to do, and everyone wants to visit phone. Everyone wants to press their cell phone. Everybody has left, the students has left what they are supposed to be doing and has gone to either start making use of their phone. They want to browse, they want to Google, they want to chat with people. No one wants to study again. No one wants to go through their books. I was with someone 2 days ago. It was just like what His Excellency Peter Obi said.
His Excellency, he was a presidential candidate.
And the former presidential candidate of the Labour Party.
Okay.
So like he said, I was having a conversation with someone where I actually made mention of this. The man was like, yes, that what I just told him is the truth. That he noticed that his own children, whom he sent to one of the best universities, has never read. He has never met them read. He has never seen them reading. That every time you see them, they are chatting. All of a sudden, he starts suspecting one to be misbehaving with, what is happening now in the society.
So what did he do about that?
He said he had to seize the phone. That after seizing the phone, the boy bought a new one the next day. It shows that they are not interested. They are seeing education to be scam. But to me, I am not seeing education to be scam. Education made the who is who in Nigeria. Education is the reason why every whole thing is free. Even the cell phone that they are holding. If the person who propounded that phone did not go to school, do they think they will have that phone? No. So education to me is the bedrock of everything.
I'm not going to. I'm going to cut you short a little bit here. I'm not going to be on any side, whether the reason for that's on this call from the Jamb candidates is due to their personal, Improvements. It could be part of the reason.
And ignorance.
Well, let's look at the other part. So some people complaining that there were computer malfunction, there were distance of the Jamb center that was assigned to them. So many of them said that they were not given adequate facility in order to, engage in the examination, the Jamb examination. Don't you think that could also be one of the attributes? Though Jamb listed most of the infractions for the reason of that underscore that the candidates got. They mentioned exam malpractice and delay in the computer system and other reasons. Do you think that's generally what you just mentioned is the reason why there was an underscore in this?
I have told you there is a sector that is not working. Education in Nigeria, the sector of education is not working. If it's working, they should have been prepared ahead of time. If they are complaining that it's because of the computer-based whatever.
If you're prepared, is it that they're not being taught in the educational system? Is not, they're not changing curriculum, or they're not being taught what they're supposed to know?
They are not being taught what they're supposed to know. And secondly, you see, it's not every child that has a computer idea. Believe you me, most of these schools does not even do what we call ICT. They don't know it. And all of a sudden, those class of people, either they are in the SS3, they want to write Jamb. Some of them does not know how to make use of the computer. It means that other things are to be imputed in the educational sector. I'm also saying that is where most of this problem is coming from. I'm not blaming the Jamb, I'm not blaming the government, because from what I told you, sometimes it is the decision of these students. Sometimes it is the decision of parents. Some of them will not want, you want to go for lesson now so that you go and look for man. That's nonsense. That's nonsense. So I'm saying that, yes, Nigerians should lay focus on the education sector. Every school in Nigeria should have ICT. And not just having ICT. Most of these schools don't employ people that did engineering. They don't employ people who have ICT idea. They want to just employ people that they will cheat and pay them peanuts. Yes, even some of them who has first and second degree, they still pay them peanuts because they are looking for job. We know how scarce job is in this country. So, like Obi said, the educational system should be improved, both from the local government to the state government and the federal government. Everybody should look at it and see education as a priority. They should focus on education and getting those modern facilities that are needed in education. More especially, look at how the thing has affected our children and our siblings. See how it has affected them. Because some of them are ignorant of computer. Why some of them is because some of the school who has this computer does not have even personnel who run them. They have to hire during that Jamb. And computer that is not being checked for years, is it in that exam day that you want to come and look at it and want to turn them on? No. No. Again, like I said before, most of them does not read. They are not interested. They because of how porous some of the system are, they feel it's a thing they can manipulate. I heard that some persons were being caught at Abuja who was putting on a Jamb in pretense to be the people who are supposed to be writing the exams, and they were caught inside the exam hall. It means that the people who are supposed to write the exams did not read, and they were not interested. They feel it's a system they can manipulate. I think that's most of the reason why most of them don't read. They feel they can manipulate the system because of how porous the system
is. So do you think that Jamb is working towards that path, like the Tunji Alausa stated that Jamb is working towards eradicating examination malpractice in that instance?
How are they working? It's not about saying it. How are they working? And whenever I come to this station, I like telling you the same thing. One thing is to make law. Another thing is to enforce it. Do you think it will not be hijacked? Do you think it will not be abused? It will. How do they want to do it? How do they intend doing it? They should tell us. Because it is, to me, it is always a means to extort from the country.
You made mention about the person that disguised his or herself to impersonate for someone else.
Is that the only place where people impersonated people to write exams?
These scores that were actually below 200, you can imagine. So don't you think that due to, you mentioned certain factors. You said parents are part of it. Lack of ICT in the curriculum is part of it. Individuals, like the candidates, are they are not ready for personal development and studying, and even history is. I think history should also be inculcated in the curriculum, because most of those questions, you know, growing up when we used to write down, we always have that phobia about exams and all of that. Phobia could actually be associated with it, but these are most of the factors that are associated to the underscore that were gotten from the students. You know, if this actually happened, don't you think Jamb has actually decided to have a tight corner against malpractice in that instance? That's the point I was trying to make.
I don't think this is happening because Jamb has decided. I'm even blaming Jamb. Jamb has not done their diligence, and that is why they are diligent. Jamb is supposed to have had a class for these people, be it a 1-month class, in order to sensitize them. But, they don't do it.
Sensitize them before the exam.
Yes.
But they actually go through on the extramural classes before
how about those who does not have parents who push them? Yes.
Okay, you're saying that Jamb should make that a compulsory.
It should be part. Yes, it should be part of their enrollment. As you are enrolling these people, you are telling them that there will be 2 weeks class for you, and there is this CBT center where you must go to. And if such things should happen, it means that they will be they must have gotten idea, they must have blended with the system, and must have known what to do. And Jamb itself, the whole system and the processes will have been alert. This whole thing that happened, some persons did not write up tonight. The system refused to come up, and they had to go the next day. Because of what? Because Jamb failed. It means that Jamb have not done what they are supposed to do. I'm blaming Jamb. They have one of the highest budgets. Go and find that. They get. So what are they using the funds to do? Nothing. The CBT centers where they do the Jamb self does not belong to Jamb. Is Jamb not supposed to own in every state at least 20 center of their own? Don't Nigerians know this? Are you telling me federal government is not aware? Are you telling me that Ministry of Education does not know this? That they are supposed to have at least 20 different zones in every state as a place of Jamb? It should be a law. This is for Jamb. Every state knows that this is where if your name falls in that particular location, this is where you're going to write your Jamb. And it becomes a place. Staffs will be found there. People can be going for training. I'm not supposed to be telling them this because I like money. For me to give them this idea, they're supposed to pay me. Yes. So,
well, you just got across on every aspect: individual, parental, curriculum, school curriculum, and needs measures that Jamb should take to reduce. Imagine so much time and resources that has been spent by parents. I used to have friends at the time that had to travel to another state to write Jamb. You know, so imagine the time and resources that some of them had taken, you know, and then getting lower score on this aspect. Well, I've got to your thoughts on that. So this is where we wrap it up on this episode of Blowout. Thank you so much for being here, Mr. Michael Onoha. It's always a pleasure having you here with us. It's a pleasure. Thank you for joining us on this episode of Blowout today.
You're always welcome.
Thank you. Well, thank you, viewers. This is where we wrap it up on this episode of Blowout. We're still open for sponsorship of the program, adverts placements, news and events coverage, with even commercials. You can watch us on our website at www.atlanticnetwork.tv, on Facebook and YouTube, on Atlantic Television Network, on Ava TV platform, on Niger TV, and on Infostech TV platform. You can connect with us on all our ATN socials by subscribing, like, and share on Facebook and YouTube on Atlantic Television Network, on Instagram and TikTok on Atlantic TV Network 1, and on Twitter on Atlantic TV Network.